How do you get past the gatekeeper? My name's Mark Hunter, the sales hunter. Did write the book, High Profit Prospecting. And if you like this video series, hey, click subscribe, would you? I come out with a new video every Monday. We're talking about how do I get past the gatekeeper. First of all, you have to remember there are two types of gatekeepers. I'm going to put them into two buckets, and we're going to talk about how you get past each one. First bucket is the receptionist, the administrative assistant, the security guard, whoever it is that's just answering the phone, and they have one objective: to get you off the phone as rapidly as possible. The second gatekeeper is the administrative assistant who really runs the place, who might be the administrative assistant for the department, who might be the administrative assistant, but really has been around forever and really knows and really makes the majority of the decisions. Now, the problem is when you call these people, it's not like they identify themselves, but they do identify themselves by how they handle your call. First of all, that first person I talked to, their whole objective is to get you off the phone as rapidly as possible, and really just however it is to get them freed up in time, because they don't want to be on the phone. The second person is going to be a little more engaging, and they're going to, chances are, be a little more receptive to listening to what you have to say. So how do you go about asking that? Well, I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But first of all, how do you make the call? So you call, and we'll say that you have the name of the person you want to reach to. Great. You say, hey, I'm looking for Barb. I'm looking for John. And you come across in a personable manner. Now, I'll get to it in just a moment in terms of what you say when they say, and what may I ask the calls about? I'm going to wait just a second on it. Because the more oftentimes you're calling and you don't know who to ask for. You don't know. You really don't know. There's no harm in trying. There's no harm. Do not sit there and say, I don't know who to call, so I'm not going to make the call. No, make the call, because you never know what you're going to find out. There is absolutely no reason. Now, if you think about it, you can come up with the names of people, surprisingly, because the internet is a pretty viable tool, and I'll do a video on that later on, but we'll talk about that later. But here's the whole thing. Don't hesitate to not make the call. Now, here's what happens. So you call them up, and whether or not you know the name or you don't know the name, they're going to sit there and say, so what is this about? And you're going to say, hey, I'm calling to discuss blank. I was speaking with so-and-so and thought it would be good for me to talk to so. Okay? You see how I'm doing? I'm coming across as I just want to have a conversation, which is all I want to do. I just want to have a conversation. There have been, here's a couple more examples. There have been, and I'm actually reading this, and they're in the show notes. Okay? There have been quite a few changes with blank, and I wanted to make sure blank is up to date on them. What you don't want to say is, I'm looking for who is in charge of buying, who handles the purchasing. Because when you say words like that, what are they going to do? They're automatically going to route you to the death department called purchasing. That's not where you want to be. That is not, now maybe that's where you need to wind up at, but you don't want to be there initially. So never use the word, who's responsible for buying, who's responsible for purchasing. I can't stand it. Now, if they say they're not available, okay, we'll say they're not available, okay? And I'm going to come back and say, so when might be a good time for me to call back? You automatically assume that you want to make the connection. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm doing a couple things. First of all, I'm treating the gatekeeper with respect. And the reason I treat the gatekeeper with respect is because I do not view them as the gatekeeper. I view them as the door opener. Very, very critical. When I view them as the door opener, it is amazing how it begins to change. Now, here's the whole thing. They're still a little bit hesitant. Don't hesitate to ask them one of the questions that you would ask the decision maker if you were talking to them. Now, the reason I like this is twofold. One, if you're dealing with that administrative assistant who really runs the department, you're going to say, wow, this person's really pretty brilliant. This person's pretty smart. And you're treating them as if they know the answers. If, on the other hand, you're treating the person who's just answering the phone, they're going to go, oh, man, I don't have the answer to it. I guess I better connect them. You see, what I'm doing is I'm treating them the same way as if you would be wanting to have somebody talk to you. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's not hard. You see, when the gatekeeper door opener begins to put up obstacles, don't freeze up. Don't back off. This is when you are looking to ask them more questions. Never hesitate to ask them another question. Now, what happens if they totally block your way? They totally block your way. There's no chance at all you're getting anywhere. Where do you go? What are some techniques? Here's some techniques I love to do. First of all, make sure you're recording the day and the time that you're making every one of your calls. Because remember, every gatekeeper door opener, no matter how obstinate, does take breaks. So I'm going to make sure that I'm dealing different days, different times of the week. B, don't hesitate to call before 8 or after 5. Call a different office. Call a different location. Ask to be transferred in. Call and ask for sales. It's amazing. Sales answers the phone. Now, be upfront with them. Be upfront with them. Tell them what you're trying to do, but also be respectful that maybe you can help them. You see, what I also love to do is I'm not going to hesitate to call on a Friday afternoon. I'm not going to hesitate to call on a Friday afternoon. I'm not going to hesitate to call over lunch. You see, I'm always trying something different, and that means including different phone numbers. In other words, what do I mean by different phone numbers? 2 ways. One, I might use a different phone. I might use a landline. I might use my cell phone. I might use some other phone. And I'm also going to call other phone numbers. One of the easiest approaches I found is you may have a main number, 6200. That's the main number. Well, just try dialing 6204. See who that goes to. And be upfront. Be upfront with them. But don't hesitate. And it's amazing how much. Now, when somebody says they're about to connect you, here's the key thing. Say, just in case we get disconnected, what's their extension? I love asking this. What this does is you're helping them out because now you're not going to have to call them back if you do get disconnected by accident. And B, it now gives you their extension. One final piece I'll talk about gatekeepers, and I'll actually do a full video on this at a later time, is what happens when you get automated systems. Automated systems are full of credible information. Go through all the prompts. Listen to all the prompts. Listen to the directory. It is amazing, but I'll go into that further. Here's the whole thing. You may feel that you have a gatekeeper or a door opener that's putting up a lot of blocks. I get it, but you know what? They're putting up a lot of blocks also for your competition. And you know what? You're going to be more successful. Why? Because you're not giving up. Chances are your competitor is giving up. What does this mean? The gatekeeper and the door opener is actually doing you a favor. Why? Because they're making it hard for you to get in, but you will get in, but they're going to keep everyone else out. Don't view the gatekeeper as the gatekeeper, view them as the door opener. Final piece I'll share with you. Never, never doubt asking them a key critical question that you would ask the decision maker. Because it is amazing how I have over the years developed tremendous relationships with gatekeepers and door openers that have given me insight to not only one person, but multiple people, because I've treated them with respect and asked for their opinion. Hey, click down below because we got an ebook, 50 Prospecting Truths. Love to have you download that. If you liked it, subscribe to the channel. Every week, you're getting a new one of these. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. There's the book, High Profit Prospecting. Do trust you read it. We're out of here.